No special introduction is needed for this one, right? You all know what it is. Well, just in case you don't know, this is the 2022 Volkswagen GTI. It is the Make 8 Performance Edition, which is the top trim in Canada, and it's equivalent to the Autobahn trim in the US. Prices in Canada start for the base model at 31,500 Canadian dollars. The mid-trim is 35,000, and this one, the top trim, the Performance Edition, is 39,000. In the US, the trims is the base GTI, the SE, and the Autobahn. So don't get confused. They're a little bit staggered there because we don't have the SE. Under the hood, you get an EA 888 engine that makes 241 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. It is a 4-cylinder, 2-liter turbo. You can get it with a 6-speed manual, or of course this dual-clutch 7-speed DSG transmission. And of course, it moves the front wheels with an electronically controlled limited slip differential. With launch control that doesn't launch extremely convincingly, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour came in 6.6 seconds. The factory says 6.3, so close enough. Performance is overall great. This thing weighs 1,447 kilos. The power is more than enough. In sport mode, the engine is always on the edge, waiting for you to say go. In every other mode that's not sport mode, it does need a good slap in the ass until it giddies up and it gets going. But nevertheless, once the power comes on, this thing really pulls from down low to sky high. Everything is good. I mean, I really don't have any complaints from this engine other than the fact that I know that it makes more power in the Golf R. But still, 241 horsepower, lots of torque. This thing is not slow. It's pretty quick. I mean, it's not as quick or angry as the Veloster N, but this makes it much more livable on a daily basis. And the exhaust, it pops, bangs, and farts too. Also, very important nowadays, it runs perfectly happily on 87 regular grade gas, and it only uses about 8.5 liters for every 100 kilometers you travel, so it's quite a fuel efficient car, especially now that gas prices are sky high. Handling is superb. This thing is set up super well. It's just, grip limits are crazy high. The chassis is very neutral till the limit, and at the limit, the clever differential and torque vectoring still try to keep things balanced. And the final result is a car that can do a lot with very little effort. Even if you turn the stability control completely off, you still realize that mechanically the car is very well set up and the electronics are just the icing on the cake. But the absence of them now leaves a little room to play because you can convert the understeer into lift-off oversteer and then back on the power to catch the slide. This thing is a properly fun little car. The brake pedal also feels pretty good. The brakes inspire confidence. They do brake really hard. It doesn't have any fancy massive calipers with multiple pistons and anything, but from 100 kilometers an hour, it stopped in 40 meters and the pedal is firm, and after ripping it a couple of times, it didn't feel like the brakes are giving up. So overall, I'm very happy with the brake system. The steering is also great. It's quick, sharp, with a little feedback too. And I love the steering wheel itself. It's so good looking, and I love the perforated leather on the sides. And the driving position, honestly, this is an appropriate driving position for a hot hatch. It's just magnificent. The interior is pretty nice. It's nothing crazy fancy in terms of design or materials. It's been put together reasonably well. You don't hear any unwanted soundtracks over bumps. And the doors have massive pockets that are also lined in fabric. I really like this. The upper parts of the dash and front doors are squishy soft plastics, but at the rear it's all cheapy hard stuff. However, the rear passengers do get heated seats and USB ports, so they won't complain. You also get a sunroof. You get heated and ventilated front seats. You get a heated steering wheel for the first time ever. You also get a heads-up display. The Harman Kardon sound system is also not bad. It's not the best I've ever heard, but it's pretty good. But the instrument cluster right in front of you is one of the best looking screens I've ever seen. It is customizable, it looks amazing, it contains all the info you need. I just love looking at it, and I really like this red theme that's totally GTI appropriate. The infotainment system is quite good too. It responds quickly, it's not laggy, it's quite easy to learn and use. It supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also have a wireless charger underneath and USB ports. It has a good backup camera that's hidden behind the rear Volkswagen emblem. And you also get the typical driving assistance nowadays with blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, and adaptive cruise. It all works pretty well. And if you change the view of the instrument cluster to the assisted view, you see all the cars around you on the highway, just like Tesla does. My favorite feature by far is in the climate control, and I call it the fart be gone, because you have this button that says air care, you press this, and voila, the whole cabin is filtered and the fart is out of here. The ambient lights are also pretty cool too. They have to be red because GTI, oh yeah. The seats now aren't as cool as the classic GTI ones. They are also nice, and I like this tri-colored theme with the red stitching. They support the body really well, and they do feel comfortable over longer trips. The rear seats have okay legroom and footroom. Headroom could be better, but nevertheless, 3 passengers will be a squeeze back there. 2 adults will be completely fine. The trunk is a good size too. It has an easy and large opening. It offers 374 liters up to the tonneau cover, or 564 liters to the ceiling. The GTI Performance trim, or the Autobahn in the States, gets very nice looking 19-inch wheels, but most importantly, it now gets the Dynamic Damper Control, or DDC, which you can set up in custom mode to your liking, and you can go from even softer than comfort to even harder than sport. The thing that I absolutely love about the driving modes is that finally a car remembers the last driving mode you use. So when I put it in custom, which is now set up perfectly as I want the car, it stays there till I pick something else. So even next week, it's still going to be there. Other drive modes are Eco, Comfort, and Sport. Under Custom, you can adjust your steering, your drivetrain, your engine sound, because you do get some pumped-in sound, the adaptive cruise control, the assistant lighting outside, and of course the climate control, in case you want to do Eco mode. My favorite setup was steering at Sport, drivetrain at Comfort, engine sound, and adaptive cruise control at Sport, everything else in Comfort. And this way, over bumps, it is very comfortable, it does a great job absorbing most imperfections, and it makes this GTI a very nice and family-friendly hatchback. I also really like how you can see so much bare metal inside. So I can see around the frames of the doors, I see the color of the car. This King's Red looks really good. I mean, if it was a black car or something, that would probably disappear, you wouldn't see much, but the way it is now, even in the back corner, I can see like a red little stripe. It's very GTI. And now it's time to complain about a few things. First of all, as we said earlier, if you go into sport mode, launch control is not the best. It just feels like it really lags off the line. I wish you could launch it harder. When I tried manually, I did maybe a little bit better, but my time was not better. So, I don't know, maybe launch control gives you some extra power or booster, who knows. Then we have the touch-enabled steering wheel controls, which are okay, but not the best, especially if you can't keep your hands in one spot and accidentally you touch stuff. Also, the bar below the infotainment system is not back illuminated, so at night it disappears, just like in every other modern Volkswagen, like the ID.4. Also, the rear door panels look and feel really cheap, but still, all these complaints together are not enough to ruin it for me. I still love this GTI, and I think that it's still the best all-rounder in terms of value for money, both upfront cost and running costs, and even depreciation. It's even practical enough, so for a family of 4, it works completely fine. And we never even talked about the looks, which I think it's a very good-looking car. It has that aggressive front bumper, has that interesting-looking diffuser in the rear with a dual exhaust. It's recognizable, and I really like it. I mean, it looks aggressive enough, but also tame enough. So overall score for this very likable Volkswagen GTI is 8.8 out of 10. And that's pretty much it for this video. So if you liked what you saw today, please press the like button, subscribe to the channel. We really need subscribers. Send it to your friends, ask them to subscribe, help us grow this channel, because then we're going to do some really cool stuff with really nice cars. Anyway, most importantly, till next time, be well. See you soon.
Perfect. perfect.